and welcome to the internet. My name is Kristen and today I'm going to be reviewing Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. So this review is going to be completely spoiler free, and basically how I'm going to do it is I'm going to give you a brief plot summary and then I'm going to tell you all of my thoughts on the writing aspects and the characters and all that good stuff. So let's get started. So this book is about a girl named Celaena, and she is a total badass assassin, and she has been living in a death camp for the past year of her life because she is the most wanted assassin of her time, which is a pretty big accomplishment for an 18-year-old girl if you ask me. Now, however, she has a chance to get out of this camp because the king decided that he needs his own personal assassin because, you know, who doesn't have one of those? And he's having a contest where 24 contestants come to the palace and they compete to try to become his assassin. And the prince has chosen Celaena to be his champion. So he comes to Endovir, which is the death camp, and he takes Celaena back to the kingdom, which is a palace made out of glass, which seems like a really bad design plan if you ask me, because, you know, you can just throw a rock at glass and it shatters, like, you know, bad safety mechanisms right there, like bad life choices. But yes, basically this is about how she is now in a competition against these 23 other, like, burly men, and she's just like, yeah, I'm gonna beat you all. And it's about how she goes through the competition and all the things that happen along the way, and there's some fantasy and mystery aspects that I didn't originally think were going to be a part of this book, but I absolutely loved them. Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit about the fantasy aspects of this book, because some books, if you're not into fantasy, there's probably no way that you're going to be able to get through them because the fantasy is just so overwhelming. Like Harry Potter, for example, the whole entire book takes place in a wizarding world, so if you're not into fantasy, you're probably not going to like it. But the way that it's written into this book, it's really easy to follow, and it's not even introduced from the very beginning. It's slowly brought in throughout the course of the book, and it makes it really easy to understand and really easy to follow. And I love the way that she did it because it's not like everyone's going around casting magical spells. It's a few select people that still have this magic power because the king banned magic from the kingdom when he took over the throne. So it's like this secret that people are keeping, that they still are able to do magic, and I really like that because it makes it more mysterious and dark. And now I just want to talk about the mystery aspect. Again, it's kind of like the fantasy part, where it's not completely overwhelming. Like, I personally don't really enjoy mystery books because they're kind of too mysterious for me, I guess you could say. But the way that it was written into this book is really good, and it's like the fantasy where it was brought in bit by bit, and it's not even really that much of a mystery part so much as it is like another part of the plot line that you really wouldn't have a good story without. I mean, it would be doable to not have it in there, but if you didn't have it in there, it wouldn't be nearly as enjoyable as it is. Okay, now to talk about characters, and first off, I'm going to talk about Celaena, who is literally my favorite character. I don't think I've ever read a character that I enjoyed more than her. To be honest, when the book first started, I didn't really like her that much, and she was kind of bitter and annoying, but then again, she'd been in a death camp for a year, and you'd probably be pretty bitter too if you hadn't seen sunlight for that long, because the death camp was a mine, so she basically never got to see the sun, which is really depressing. But as the story progressed and she got more comfortable in the castle and with the other characters, she really kind of let down her walls that being an assassin had built up, and you really got to see who she was, and I love her so much. She's such a relatable character, and I mean, obviously she's not relatable because she's an 18-year-old assassin, and I mean, I'm 17 and I can't imagine doing half of the things or even a quarter of the things that she's done. But she still has this relatable aspect to her because she's kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing. Am I doing everything that I can to like win this competition? Because if she wins, she gets her freedom, and that's really a strong point of this book, is her trying to win her freedom. And she's been an assassin her whole life, and she never really had the freedom to do what she wanted. Then she was in a death camp, so again, she was completely confined. and now she's being forced into this competition that she doesn't really want to do, besides the fact that she'll finally be able to do what she wants with her life after she wins it. Next we have Dorian, who is the prince, and he has this really sarcastic, funny nature to his character, which I love. Like, he's just wonderful, and Celaena kind of has a sarcastic piece to her character too. So when the two of them are talking to each other, it's absolutely hilarious, and they are so funny to read together. And then we move on to Cale, who is the captain of the King's Guard, and he's one of the first characters that's introduced to Celaena along with the prince, and he has this really harsh tone to him, which makes sense because he's in charge of an army, so you kind of gotta be able to lay down the law. And at first, Celaena and him don't get along at all, which is really hard and awkward because he's the one who's training her. But then throughout the book, you slowly see him start to warm up to her more, and they kind of become friends by the end of it. And I absolutely love them together so much because they have like this awkward relationship that I really like. I don't like it when relationships are really easy and flow along smoothly. I like to see like the ups and downs and the bumps that they go through. So I absolutely love them together so much. And now I know what you're thinking. Kristen, you said this was a good book, but it has a love triangle. Yeah, I know love triangles are like super overrated, and usually I hate them, but I love this love triangle. The thing that I love about the love triangle in this book is that it is not overly present, but it's still there. It really takes a back seat to the plot line, but for overly hopeless romantic people like me, it's still there enough to cause you all sorts of emotional pain. So overall, I would definitely give this book at least 4.5 out of 5, if not 5 stars, because it is so amazingly well written, and the plotline is wonderful, and the characters are great, and it's got romance in it, and I love romance, so you know, you can't go wrong with that. Thank you guys so much for watching. It really means a lot. Be sure to thumbs it up and subscribe. I love you guys so much. Alright, I'll see you soon. Bye! You know what's great about only filming the upper half of your body when you make videos? I could totally not be wearing pants right now and you would have no idea.